Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Live from the Tony Wallow Studios, it's the Ken Stout Live Show, featuring the Zoom homies, produced by LK Productions. Late tonight? Apparently there is. Let's figure this out. Greg and I are on Zoom, but apparently OBS is not wanting to cooperate tonight. Let's go see something over here real quick, like.
Better hurry up. You're interrupting my Mayor of Kingstown episode.
Yeah, I heard that in the background. Took me a minute to figure out, and then when I heard Renner's voice, I knew exactly what it was.
Pretty good. I'm on season 2, episode 3, I think.
Hey, Ken.
Hello,
Long time no
Alex.
hear.
Well, that's a two-way street, you know. So I'm gonna check to
I know today's been a busy day as always for Sunday.
And it's been a pretty relaxed day for me. I slept until noon.
It's more of a long day than it is a busy day.
Yeah,
Longest day of the week for me.
I had a short day. We got home about 7, and I got up about a little before noon, 11:46, I believe it was. And I did not take a nap today. Did not do any Da Vinci today. I did not do I should write a Dr. Seuss book. I did not do anything today.
I've got to tell myself when Thursday comes. I've got to set my alarm because I don't want to be waking up at 10:30, 10 o'clock on Thursday when my interview is supposed to be at 11:30.
Makes it kind of tough if you don't get up early that day. That's for sure. That is for sure. So a couple shout outs here. Tony Wallow was first, followed by Greg Guy being second. Bobby Warren was third. William Dawson was fourth. Robert Michael fifth. And that Jeff Ryman just now said he'll be with us in a little bit. That should bring us up to speed on where everybody was at earlier. Now I'm going to check OBS here a second. But it seems to have been out of whack a little bit. I'm going to pop chat out here. And let's see, why was this going so weird? I don't know, actually. Kind of hard to experiment with it when you're live as well.
So my mom dropped a bomb. So my mom dropped a bombshell today when I went in there to get something in the living room. She dropped a bombshell. She said she wanted to, and I understand why. She said she wanted to. When we went for the interview, she said she wanted to stay there until the interviewers got there, so she could see who they are. But I understand why that is, but also that embarrasses me, or maybe that's just me.
You probably need to clarify that a little bit. That's a typical Alex Cheek, very vague statement. Is she going to sit at the same table with you and your interviewees?
No, she's not even gonna be there. What she
Whoa,
said
time out,
was,
time out. Tugbat's moment, time out. You just said she's going to stay there. Now, is she going to stay there or is she not going to stay there?
okay, let's say we get there at 11. Let's say
Let's say you just said she's going to stay there, and then you just said she's not going to stay there. Clarify that before we go, let's play.
she's not going to stay there for the whole thing.
Okay.
What she said was, if we get there early, like if I get there at like 11 o'clock for the interview at 11:30, and the interviewer is not there, and Jason's not there. He said she wanted to stay there until Jason gets there, and whoever else he's bringing with him. Because she wants to see who those two guys are, and not just leave me there before those two, not just leave me there alone before those two guys get there.
Maybe you should have started with that instead of the way you said it. That kind of makes sense.
And so, anyway, once they get there, she's gonna leave. But because none of us know who they are, none of us have ever met these people.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point. Poor Jason, Tony.
It's not to say that she can't leave, and he can't we can't get to the table and him pull out a weapon or something, but I don't think that's
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of way overthinking on this right now going on.
I know. She
I
just
mean,
wants to.
you could use the same logic of the last interview you went to on the 10th floor with the small elevators, that they could have pulled the gun out when you went in for the interview, right?
Right. Well, I'm just. All she said was that she wants to stay there with me until we get there.
We can discuss it a little bit after the stream, unless you want the whole world to know. Poor Joshy.
No, we can discuss it. We can discuss it after. But I understand her point, because I'm basically a sitting duck and can't defend myself, is what she calls it. So.
I understand her point too, from a parent point of view and perspective, but and in your case, it's a little bit more probably strengthened because of your condition. I do understand that. We'll talk about it a little bit after the stream. Oh, I see what we're trying to do here. We're trying to jump up the Zoom numbers to get to that magical number of 20. That's funny.
Well, we've only got 3 people in here right now.
I see that. I actually can see that in 2 different ways. I had the participants box opened up, and I can see that Greg's here, you're here, and I'm here. It'll pick up, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, I was napping.
Yeah, I didn't take a nap today. I took her to work, came home, killed a little bit of time waiting for the Indiana game. Typical Indiana, they get up about 15 points and barely hang on to win in overtime, but they won, so that's good. Pretty good game to watch, actually, from if you didn't have a favorite team perspective like I did. They got down, I think, 12 and came back and won the game, so if they could hit the free throws, it wouldn't even have been close, but they can't shoot free throws for some reason. I've noticed when I use the Control Plus that also moves my monitoring screen as well. Yeah, Bobby, I hope you have a good interview too. The pay cut from being a newscaster to school teacher would probably scare me to death. Robert says he done physical labor today. Rough on a lazy
What's
person.
um
Yeah, it is. It's funny.
well, I'm just glad today. I'm just glad today's over.
I'll be glad when it's
I'm
this
glad.
time next week. Actually, I'm pretty. I'm playing an Alex Cheek with my surgery. I'll just put it that way.
Yes, yes. I'll be glad when it's Friday, and then I can tell you all how everything went.
I am Groot. Oh, it's BH Ringer. I thought that was Groot. IBH.
Evening. Oh,
And hopefully I can say something better than, well, I got the dreaded rejection email, or they just said they didn't want me.
Now that's interesting. BH came in and I heard the doorbell ring. Chris Garrett came in and I didn't hear the doorbell ring. I wonder if the camera being on or off has anything to do with that. I would think not. But that's the only difference. He has his camera on and Chris does not.
I think we come in at the same time.
That's a good possibility that you both, I mean, coincidentally got there at the same time. See, there's Sean joining us. Oh my gosh, Sean shaved. Sean, put a hat on. The glare's killing me.
Oh, dude, I didn't shave.
I've started a trend here. Started a trend here. And Sean's got YouTube running.
Yeah, I got the TV put in here behind me.
Yeah, you need to mute the volume or turn it down.
Put it in here. There, it's muted.
Looks like you got a computer sitting there to your right, left, right, that way.
Yeah, this is this. I took everything out of that black one, and I put it in the 5000D. It's got a lot of room in there, so. Oh yeah. So.
Got it up and running.
Yep.
Cool.
What's powering my computer right now? Or that's what's powering Zoom.
Yeah, I don't think I could be in the school system nowadays. I don't even think 40 years ago I could have been in the school system. Bobby Warren's leaving the news industry and has an interview tomorrow for a substitute school teacher. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say in Florida still. There's Jeff joining us.
Uh-oh, I just realized something. That fan right there ain't turning.
Good English. That fan right there ain't turning.
Yeah, you can see it on my screen. It's not turning.
Well, let us spotlight you so we can see it. Some of us have poor vision these days.
Look.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. You might give it a flip. Sometimes they get stuck, get dust in there or whatever.
Yeah. Thought I plugged it in. And I plugged it all into the motherboard so I could control it. So.
You plug it in the right spot for the fan?
Yeah, it's to plug it anywhere in the motherboard, so anywhere that there's a fan header. Oh, I did something that Carrie did. Oh man, I took the CPU cooler off and the CPU came out with it. It was glued to the CPU cooler. I had to turn it very carefully to the sides until it would pop right off, and then I put it back on the motherboard.
Yeah, you're supposed to twist them.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Robert and Gary cracking me up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. How'd baseball go today, Jeff?
Well, my grandson hit a home run over the fence today.
Nice.
Yesterday, he got a home run and didn't touch the ball.
So he got walked?
Well, no, he missed the third strike and the catcher dropped it and he ran for first And the
Overthrew.
catcher overthrew first so
Yep.
far. He made it clear around the
Yep.
bases and scored 2 other guys ahead of him.
This funny slideshow is stuck.
Ooh.
Okay.
So,
Oh, maybe it is
Um,
going. Yeah, I just,
so anyway, I was not there today. I got a little video of it from his dad. My ex-son-in-law has a new job, and so I don't have the Sunday baseball duties anymore because he's working Monday through Friday at his new job. So Grandpa's getting an extra day off on the weekends.
Well, you can do more projects around the house.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm only behind about 2 years. I got to get out and do a bunch of yard work because it's almost getting time for things to start growing like crazy. Need some trimming back to do. Well, your Zoom's slowly filling up there, Mr. Stout.
Yep, we'll get it there. We usually do get 10, 12 in each
I
night.
was washing dishes when you started. I just made some hamburger helper and sort of Mexican style stuff, and I added a bunch of black beans and corn and rotel into it and some extra rice
That sounds
and extra
good,
taco
actually.
seasoning and whatever, so I could make a couple or 3 days worth.
See if this one works. See if this one rotates or not.
I still haven't gotten that one cartoon yet.
Which
I'll
one?
have to think about it a little longer. The one that it was stuck on.
Oh, the ribeyes? The one
I
about
did
ribeyes?
it. I get it now, finally.
Okay.
Yeah. That's like the guy standing there looking at his dog and says, "No, I said sit."
Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of cool that I have 3 chats again in the studio. I popped it out and somehow it's probably my system. All right, so why is this not working? Let's figure this out.
So Bobby's interviewing for a job where he may have to instruct other people for a while.
Substitute teacher, he said.
Oh. God, I'm like him. I could teach kindergarten or I could teach college. Nothing in between. Kindergartners are easy. You're teaching a college class, which I have done many years ago. As a grad student, if somebody gives you a bunch of shit, you kick them out of the class. And
Yeah.
you're done. Anything in between, I want nothing to do with. Oh, Bobby, you're going to teach high school. I'll do a little prayer for you. But good luck to you anyway. I have a lot of respect for those who can teach, particularly middle and high school. But even elementary school, the last couple of years, you'd be amazed at what 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders will say to the staff or the teachers.
No. I used to be shocked at what they would say, but anymore, no.
So
Yeah, I've got loop slideshow checked. I don't understand why it didn't loop. We'll try this again.
it's the Ken Stout live show.
what? Yeah.
You know what I don't understand? I was an AB student all the way from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade.
Yeah, see, that's all I
Needless to
got.
my I don't
I
understand how come my nephews, at least one in particular, can't follow suit.
It's a matter of
I thought I told them
attitude.
better than that.
It's a matter of attitude, Alex. I will tell you, my daughter was bright, did well in school up to the 4th grade, and then she started giving shit to the teachers. and the principal. And my grandson, her son, is bright. His father was also bright. His mother's bright. When he was here after school every day in the 3rd grade, and I would go over his homework with him, make sure he got it done, was making all A's and B's. Then we had the pandemic, and that year was a disaster. And this year, there are times he makes good grades, and other times he just ignores what he's supposed to be doing. And when you don't do your homework, you don't get A's and B's.
I just about got kicked out of school at grade 6. And then I had a grade 7 math teacher who gave me an attitude adjustment. And I was always an A student after that.
Well, and then, but the student or the kid has got to make up his own mind. That's what he wants to do. My grandson, encouraged by my daughter, his mother, somehow thinks he's just going to magically make it into professional baseball. I keep trying to explain to him that if you want to have a shot at that, you will need to get on a good college team. Get on a good college team, you need decent grades, even to get an athletic scholarship.
Right.
Well,
You
at
don't
the
have to
time-
be top of the class, and I said, and you can't play baseball forever, even if that happens, which it likely won't. I don't go into that with him. I just try to be encouraging. But even the ones that make a career out of it, you can't play baseball forever because not everybody's going to be the star that makes so much money he doesn't care. And a lot of them make a lot of money and throw it all away.
Yes, they do. What is a polonium computer? Bobby Warren said, I need to use a polonium computer. I'm lost.
Polonium is a radioactive element.
Oh, so he's going to have big old gloves on, using the tongs on the computer. Got it.
At the time that this happened, I thought it was like really like I wasn't gonna like it.
Well,
But I ended up having the same science teacher for 7th grade, and I had her again for 10th grade biology class. Same teacher, once in middle school, once in high school.
Well, oddly
Well,
enough,
RM, I'm not sure you're actually dealing with grown-ups 99.9% of the time. You are dealing with people who have reached the nominal age of adulthood.
yeah, really. Oddly enough, when I was in school, I don't count grade school,
podium
middle
computer,
school.
not polonium, podium.
Oh, when I got into
Right.
high school, you had to maintain a C average to participate in sports. So my bar was set right there at the C average. And I didn't struggle making it, but I didn't put much forth effort into making it either. I hated high school. When I got to college, for some reason, everything clicked and it made sense. And I was a AB, sometimes even slipped up and made the honors, you know? Of course, I wasn't participating in sports either, so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. I'm trying
One
to.
class I don't understand how I made an A in, other than the fact that he was just being nice to me. Because he said I made good conversation in class. Was oral communication. I don't understand. My dad doesn't understand how I managed to make an A in that class, other than the guy
Well,
was just.
some of it, Alex, can be not on how you perform at maybe you didn't perform at the highest level all through the year, but maybe you made noticeable improvement through the year. And if you were learning something, which is the object of going to class, the teacher may have given you a good grade because he thought you were trying and learning something. There's nothing wrong with that either.
He said when I handed him my final paper, he said the reason why I would end up with an A is because I was the most talkative person in class.
Well, oral communication, you know.
There you go.
Well,
And you can run into situations. my first English composition class in college. I got the highest grade in the class, and I got a B. It's taught by a graduate student, which from the student's viewpoint is always being a son of a bitch situation. And I've been on the other end of that too. But because graduate students generally haven't learned how to temper their expectations. But anyway, this guy's point was that he didn't want you using common words that really don't mean anything, like very much, or adjectives and adverbs and stuff that really didn't add anything specific to the writing. And he had a whole list of words. If you put in a composition, you got an F on that composition. It was done. And he didn't grade on grammar and punctuation because we did all of our writing in class. You went in, he gave us an assignment, you wrote out the composition, handed it in by the end of the hour. That part was actually nice. Didn't have anything to take home to work on. And he wanted you to learn to be expressive, I guess. And it took me over half the semester to figure out what the hell he really wanted. I was getting good grades by the end of it, but I had started out with C minuses and B's at the beginning of the semester. It didn't average up to a high grade.
Bless you again.
And sometimes you just hit situations like that. And you can't control what the professor does.
I'll tell you, everybody did horrible on the midterm exam that he gave for oral communication. It was all kinds of terms and definitions and everything else. Everybody did horrible, including me.
Well, and then you run into situations where I was taking an undergraduate class from the mechanical engineering department in thermodynamics, study of heat. And I was doing pretty well in it, A minuses, that sort of thing. And the professor that taught the class became ill and couldn't finish the semester. And they brought in another professor to finish it out. And it was about half a semester under each one. And under him, everything I did he didn't like, I got C's. And you would think an A and a C would average out to a B, but it did not. He averaged it to a C. Said, well, I can't really give that much weight to the other professor's half of the semester because I really didn't see how you were doing then. All I could see is what he wrote down. And and that's just the way it was. Sometimes it is what it is. You do your best and you move on.
When I was doing my networking classes, the networking instructor who was supposed to be my cybersecurity instructor, he had this guy for 2 years. When we was doing networking classes, he had in the middle of the network, he had decided that he had made up his mind that he was going to go back to work for the State Department, go back to work for the Arkansas Department of Education at the state, for all of their data center stuff where he was working before, because working at a community college just wasn't paying enough money. And so he didn't tell us this, but come the semester of my online cybersecurity class, the first day of class comes, he writes up his normal he puts his normal little introduction paragraph, what we're going to be doing in class online. And for my first day to about half the semester, didn't hear anything. Looked on there every day, didn't hear any communication. Next thing I know, he's fired, and I'm having to wait on the college to get a fill-in instructor from another city to do a online class. And that instructor they got from another city is still doing classes for them, as far as I know.
And sometimes things come around to bite you in the ass in an ironic way. When I was a senior, there was a senior lab that, for reasons I won't get into here, I didn't get a couple of the lab experiments handed in. Got a D in the class. And after I graduated, went to the Army and came back as a graduate student, I ended up teaching the same lab. But there was a lot of irony in that. And
Yeah, I
Ken's
could
back on the golf course.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I've tried. I actually changed some settings. On
Trying to
this.
adjust this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only after 3 or 4 times of seeing that, Ken, I finally got it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I changed it in the wrong direction. I took it off full screen.
Ooh, Fuzzy Bear.
Cocaine Bear, actually, but you can't see that. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whoa.
That's going away for tonight.
Some of those.
That one with the horses is actually really good, I think.
Some of those were pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, but I don't understand. If I go over here and click on this one. Okay, now it's off because I moved it. So now I got to go grab it. And just
Here's a fellow named David Lugar. Have you seen him before?
So this one looks like it runs correctly. I have 2 different ones set up. And this one appears to be rotating correctly and appears to be the correct size. So I set the other one up the same way and it's just all out of whack. Beats me. Because if I change this one now and go over here and start this one, then on my screen it's the right size, but on OBS it's not the right size. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. So I'll work on it tomorrow. That's what I get for not doing anything today. Yeah, I told you a couple of ribeyes. I like that one. That one's pretty funny. So anyway.
It is if you aren't brain dead initially.
Well, it took me like twice to get it because I just glanced at it. David Lugar. I'm not sure. I'm going to play Doug here and say I don't know how you pronounce your last name. So if I mispronounce it, please forgive me. Welcome in. That's interesting.
Well, now my computer weighs like 300 pounds. So if I have to move it, it's going to be a pain. The glass, this tempered glass, at least weighs like 20 pounds.
What kind of a case is that, Sean?
What?
What kind of a case are you using there?
It's a Corsair 5000D.
Okay.
Don't tell Catherine.
Those ones are like, oops.
I've already sent the email, Chris. I sent her a picture.
The other one's right here. The one I was using. I'm going to turn around and sell this one.
We're doing good, David. How are you doing tonight? As far as I know, we're all doing good.
Yep. You need to reach over and spin your fan a little bit, Sean.
Yeah, is it still not spinning?
No, it is. I forgot it's shooting this way. So when I tried to spin it, I got my finger caught in the blade. So
I don't see any movement on the one through the glass.
it's moving. Yeah, you can tell.
That one in the back there.
Yeah, this one in the front.
Yeah, it's not moving.
Huh?
It's not moving. Well, now you took that away, it appears to be moving. Whatever you do, don't put your finger in there.
Yeah, you see it's moving.
Yeah, now it does look like it's moving. A second ago, it looked like it was not.
When you had something solid behind it, looked like you had blades that were sitting still.
This panel right here weighs like 10 pounds.
Well,
weighs a lot.
You can do your workouts with your computer.
Isn't that weird? As soon as he puts that panel in there, it actually looks like it's not moving.
Well, the darkened spots that you see in between those ribs or whatever look like blades that are steel, and they aren't.
Yeah.
This says that it's a mid-sized tower. No, it's not. That one down there, my old one was a mid-sized tower. This is like a full ATX tower. It was only $129. And then I also bought a 2 terabyte Samsung drive, and I took the 512 Intel drive out. So,
Well, some of these NVMe drives are dropping in price. We were having a messenger conversation about a crucial.
I paid $140 for it, or 2 terabyte.
What kind is it?
It's a Samsung. It's a Samsung. It's a Gen 3 drive because I already have a Gen 4 in the Gen 4 slot. So it's it's a Samsung 2 terabyte 9070 Evo Plus.
All right.
Yeah.
Catch up with Chad. I just got an email that I will pass along after the stream ends. Do you guys do Bible study too? No. We are technical comedy. Help one another out for the most part. I would say that covers pretty much everything. And then you're going to watch me try to struggle to get my screen to work to show the thing in the lower right-hand corner or left-hand corner.
So, Sean, did you buy it on Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
I see one advertised there at $139.99.
Yep, that's one I bought.
That's a Gen 3. Yeah, I got the Crucial Gen 4 for, I don't know, 130 something counting tax.
I'm kind of hoping,
but it's not full speed Gen 4. It'll only go to 5,000 nominally, when Gen 4 can go to 7,500 if it's the fastest ones.
Yeah, I got a Gen 4 1 terabyte 980 Pro as my operating system. And then I got a 500 gig Samsung 2.5 inch on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I have enough storage now. I don't need to get no more.
I'm kind of hoping Jim joins us later.
Oh, this was from Best Buy ad. I don't know why I got that
Long
one.
Dog shows us my big question on Samsung NVMe drive is this ... See, I'm turning into Anchorman guy. The software fix ... question mark. What was his name in that movie? Anchorman? It was Will Ferrell. Anyway, does it repair the drive block failures like I had? J 2 cents technical comment. Yeah, there you go. J 2 cents seems to imply it does. What do we think? No clue, Long Dog. No clue.
I remember somebody's drive having an issue that they did a firmware update and it fixed something, but I don't remember the details now.
That was on the new Samsung 990.
Oh, hang on. He's
Ron Burgundy. Thank you very much, Wintermute. That's
He's
yeah.
He's wanting Alex's. Someone, come on, Alex. You're on the floor now. Answer Long Dog's question.
Here, we won't put no pressure on him whatsoever. Well, by the way,
what's the question?
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Cheak.
Can you repeat the question?
Can I repeat? Sure. My big question on Samsung NVMe drives is this ... The software for fix ... question mark. Does it repair the drive block failures ... like I had ... That's Ron Burgundy for you, by the way.
Yeah. What I remember about the firmware updates, and this may be faulty, is that you needed to get the fix before the drive got damaged. And if you got the new firmware before you had any block failures or whatever, then you would be fine. but it wouldn't fix something that had already happened.
I think he's stumped. He's got that stumped look to him.
I have no idea. I would just
Call
say download the Samsung Magician
Well,
software
thanks,
and
Alex. We
try,
appreciate your answer. We'll go on to our next guest now. We'll come back to you in just a little bit. He's had that coming, though. You guys know that.
I know it's coming, right? I know you're going to.
Jim and I set it up the other night for Jim to do it. And he blamed me still. Anyway, if David's still with us, he's just got a taste of what this channel is all about.
You have
Yeah,
you don't
Jay's
call,
2 cents is
call me
talking
or-
about the
you
980
don't call
Pro.
me or text me all day, Ken, and then you spotlight me and put me on the spot right off the bat.
You were asked to answer a question. You were specifically asked by a member of our beloved audience to answer the question.
Well, the answer is I don't know. Maybe he needs to provide more detail. I don't.
Oh, look, he's going down the Doug Road now.
Just read up on the Samsung 990.
He's asked. Sorry, Gray. He says, "Can it fix the bad blocks?"
From what
that's
I
his
see
question.
on Jay's 2 cents thing, no. If you've already had bad blocks, you need to get the drive replaced under warranty from Samsung.
Yeah. William
If
Dawson
you get
says,
the newer drive with the upgraded firmware, it will prevent the bad blocks from happening.
"Yep, that's pretty much what William Dawson says." It said what J2 said is updating the firmware before it becomes read-only fixes the drive, and if it is read-only, you are out of luck. So I believe that's pretty much what Jeff is saying. That makes sense. And can't believe Alex, that sounds like you're tapping out.
Yeah. Well, some of the comments on the other video say that Samsung replaced the drive under warranty, but it took them a while to do it. And someplace in here was a comment that there have been 2,000 of them failed before Samsung got the fix done.
Man.
So there's drives that are becoming read-only.
Yep, because of bad firmware in the
Can
drive.
you go into this part and make them and fix that?
No, it's a firmware issue with the drive. And once you have to get the drive replaced if it happened to you. With the new firmware that Samsung made, the newest drives aren't having the issue.
That's crazy. I don't want. It'll be read-only.
Well, you know, the difference between reading and writing those things are the voltages on the cells in the drive. I don't understand the nitty-gritty of it, but
Oh, I do. I understand every bit of what you guys are talking about.
but it's like,
Greg, right. But you know why I want Jim to be here tonight, don't you? I've changed my plans. Not that I'm one to keep up with the Joneses, but since Sean got that monstrosity of a case right there, I'm going to turn my entire studio into one huge computer. And suddenly we hear a drop of a pen.
You getting a big beast too?
Do what, Chris?
Or you want to get a big beast?
Well, if I were to, I'm going to go back to the 1950s, and it's going to go around the entire studio. It's going to be about, I don't know, 4 feet wide, stick out from the wall, and it's going to go 6 feet in the air. That way I can store stuff on top of the vents. It's supposed to get, have the air circulation. It'll never overheat. I'm not even worried about that. Y'all are like shocked and stunned.
The reason
Vacuum tubes. Yeah, I'd save some money that way.
We're not saying anything because we know it ain't gonna happen. You're just blowing smoke.
The other reason I want Jim to join me is he could put someone that's really walking the line right now back in the waiting room. And then I could take away his hosting duties, and then he couldn't come back in. It's going to be a Whopper it's going to be the Whopper from War Games. Exactly. That's to be about
Tony,
the same
I'll
size as this
tell
room.
say to Tony Wallow, back around the early 1970s, I had somebody offer me a vacuum tube based mainframe computer if I would come haul it away.
How big was it?
Filled up quite a large room. You would have needed a semi truck to haul away all the parts.
Wow.
And
Okay,
of
so that
course,
looks...
those things were notorious. If a tube goes out the wrong place, then you lose whatever you're doing.
Right.
Computers really didn't become reliable on a long-term basis until we went to solid state stuff, machines.
Okay, so when me and Mrs. K get our paperwork done, I'm getting me a big beast. Yes. Yes, you are, Robert. You're going to inherit the big beast. That'll be the first line in my will. The big beast does not go.
the
There's
professor.
no way to fix a bad physical data block. It should technically a blown cell, as Jeff is telling us.
Yeah, there's an article on it at Tom's Hardware for the technically inclined.
Oh, speaking of that, Greg, can you repost that link you posted the other night about the Social Security thing, please?
I have to find it again.
That's why I'm asking you to do it, because I can't find it again. At least I'm honest.
Let me see if I can find it on Microsoft Edge. That's where I
If
saw
you
it.
can, great. If not, don't worry about it. All right, I'm gonna look at something and try to figure something out here. Got to go see something now over here. Don't stop talking just because I'm looking at something.
All right, we won't.
We don't have nothing else to talk about. You're the comedy, you're the entertainment for the night. You know that.
Sounds like it's coming out of his butt again. He's not in front of the camera.
The Matrix is talking. So this is really crazy that the files that are not showing up properly are actually smaller than the files that are showing up. That makes no sense. I know you guys are amazed that I actually knew how to go look up the size of the files. I'm going to try something here. Gosh, don't stop talking because I can't talk and think at the same time. You guys know that. Let me go look at chat real quick. Long Dog's going to go look up something. Thanks, Jeff. You are sharp to up on this subject. Thanks, Jeff. You are.
I shall return in a moment. I'm being paged to go out again.
We'll
Let the
be
dog
here.
do his thing one more time.
I'm sure we will be here. All right, so I am actually going to try to do something here. And see what happens here. Oh, okay. Wants to be a pain in the neck, does it? All right, now let's try this again. And we're going to try that again. Bring this back over here so it's out of my way. Somebody say something. Did you guys see where the last surviving member of Leonard Skinner passed away?
Yeah.
Don't know, don't care, never will, never have.
Oh, wow. Wow. Somebody wants to go in the waiting room again.
I think somebody wants to leave for the night.
Oh.
My typing skills need some work, Long Dog says. Oh, really? Are you talking about, oh, really, for the Leonard Skinner comment or your typing skills? Yes. I can't think of his name right now, but I can see it just as plain as don't everybody jump in at once to help me out. Rossi's his last name, if I remember right. If the song was Freebird, yep. All right. Can I bring this over here to not affect YouTube? Can. Cool. Now I can see what I'm doing here. BH, how's the weather up in your neck of the woods?
It was a nice day. It was sunny. Got up to about 40 degrees. That's nice here.
I think we were 63 today.
We had, oddly enough, flood warnings all day long today, and not one drop of water fell out of the sky. Gary Rossington, thank you, Wintermute. Not a bad day, temperature-wise. It was somewhat cloudy at times, sunny at times.
Okay, Ken, get ready to put me in the waiting room because I'm fixing. It was about 72, 73 today.
You live in Arkansas. Alex, it should be comfortable down there this time of year. Why would I put you in the waiting room for that?
I don't know, just because you can.
Long Dog's still in Idaho, and he said they had a pinch of snow in Idaho. Don't know much about Idaho, except that's where potatoes come from. I do know that. All right, this is going to get really fun.
Speaking of potatoes, get this. And today I go to KFC and I get the chicken fingers, and I ordered mashed potatoes instead of fries. So I told them, and I got to the window, and they gave me my food. Guess what I had? I had fries. So I go inside. I tell him, I said, I'm supposed to have mashed potatoes instead of fries. So he tells the girl in the back, guess what they hand me a bag. Guess what it is?
More fries.
Fries.
Yeah.
So I said, sir, I'm supposed to have mashed potatoes. And the girl reaches around the corner and she says, what do you want? I'm like, really? I said potatoes. I started to say, like 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato.
Well, this is fun. Not really. That should go away. Okay, so this seemed to be running halfway decent over here a while ago. Let me turn this back on. That looks to be better. It's not exactly right, but if I bring it down like that, that looks to be okay. I'm gonna let that run a minute and see how that does. And I know there's more than 2 pictures on there, so if that reverts back to that picture of the snow, something's wrong.
I think people got where they just don't care no more.
Possibility they don't understand, they're not trained properly. I mean, there's just probably all kind of things.
How can you not understand that when you plainly say that?
That I don't know, Chris.
I even looked at the receipt when before the guy gave me the food, it said fries, and I said, "Sir, I want mashed potatoes." He said, "Okay, I got you." Whatever.
The potatoes you guys get are what the people in Idaho feed to their hogs. All right, that one seems to be working really good. I'm not sure why the other one wasn't. I'll have to dig into that sometime tomorrow. We're going to give McDonald's right up the street another chance in the morning with breakfast because she doesn't have to go to work until whatever time it is tomorrow. This week's going to be so messed up.
What did they do wrong?
Last time we got breakfast there, we ordered the big breakfast for her with the pancakes. That's what she likes. And we got home and we had no pancakes. So
You mean a deluxe big breakfast? She can't eat all that.
whatever it's called, Alex. We always just say we want the big breakfast with pancakes, and that's what we always get. And this time when we got home, she did not have that.
It's just a big breakfast. It's like 3 pancakes and eggs and sausage.
Yeah, and a hash brown. And
Yeah.
and a biscuit, believe it or not. And usually she does a pretty good job of putting most of it away. I usually end up getting a little bit of the sausage and about half the eggs. So we'll give that a shot. But as you know, this week I've got to be down at the doctor at 8 o'clock Tuesday morning, and then the surgery time is yet to be determined. It'll all be based on what happens on Tuesday. And then we got to turn around and be back there on Saturday. So I really want to get to this point in time next week and see where things stand, so to speak.
You have to get diet syrup.
I have not ever had diet syrup, but then again, I haven't had any syrup. I don't eat pancakes and waffles and French toast and things of that nature. And when I do, it is only with butter.
I had diet syrup, and you can't really tell a difference because syrup is naturally sweet.
I'll take your word for it. I'm trying not to drink Diet Coke, but I'm still struggling with that. Get a little tired of water. Did our new person disappear? Let me scroll back up. David, I think was his name. Yep, David. I wanted to ask him how he came across our show here. Yeah,
I get the idea he came from Bonnie's.
Possibility. I don't know. He's not here anymore. I just try to send a message to him. Yeah, I don't ever order any. That's Mrs. K's long dog, not me. I get a sausage biscuit, and that's it. That's plenty for me. And this week, well, all of last week and this week, I'm really watching my carbs, no sugar, and watching the carbs. My sugar the other night was 97. I felt fine. I thought it might be a little bit low. Mrs. K said it was fine. So I'm doing my part to make sure that this happens, but being the big baby that I am, I'm starting to have Alex Cheak thoughts of, it's going to hurt when they prop open my eye. I'm going to feel that needle go in my eye.
There is no needle, Ken.
There is no needle?
No, it's all drops.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought they, how
Well,
do they
at least
take
here,
the
that's what they
lids
did
off?
for me.
Do what?
There was no needle for me. It was just all drops.
Have I, okay. Hey, there's Rick. Have I tried the Crystal Light powdering?
I do not recommend the Crystal Light powdery or any powdery drink mixes because it's hard to dissolve. If you're going to get the drink mixes, I recommend you get the liquid kind. Those dissolve instantly.
What?
Rick's talking to himself. He starts out the conversation with, what? Hey, Rick.
Hello.
No, William, I have not tried Crystal Light. I do like the sparkling ice drinks. They're pretty good.
I've got a bottle of it right now. Crystal Light, something or other, liquid drink mix with caffeine or whatever flavor that I tropical punch is pretty good.
Read the label, Alex. See how many chemicals it has in it.
Caffeine flavor?
Caffeine flavor? Is that what he said?
That's what Alan
No, I didn't say caffeine flavor. I said it's tropical punch or something. It's some kind of punch flavor, tropical punch with caffeine.
Sounds horrible. And I would agree with Alex. I would think that the powdered flavoring would have problems dissolving in cold water.
Yes, I have.
And today, when I made my noodles, I had flashes of what Stealth Most told us the other day about that young man. So I put the cup in the measuring cup in the microwave, 5 minutes, 4 cups of water. I could see it was boiling. So when it came out, I stuck it on the counter, and at arm's length, I took the fork and went like this, just in case it were to have some steam show up. It didn't.
Well, me and my mom almost burnt the house down with her cooking her corn dogs and me making a frozen dinner and a little air fry little toaster oven that she got, because we didn't know that you're not supposed to put anything. You didn't know that you're not supposed to use the air fry setting when you're putting something in that's on a stick or in a paper plastic bowl or whatever. But we learned a lesson.
How'd you do in high school English, Alex? Me and my mom. I believe that should be Mom and I.
Mom and I. And oh, just the other day, just a couple of days ago, or just yesterday when I was fixing TV dinner.
Make up your mind. Was it just the other day, just a couple of days ago, or yesterday? Well, you're just on a roll today.
It was yesterday. She didn't understand why I was putting the little pan that came with the toaster oven underneath my TV dinner. I was putting my TV dinner on that little pan before I put it in the oven. So she wanted me to take it off the pan and just put the plastic container directly on the rack. And she leaves to go to the church, and within 5 minutes of her leaving it started to melt the container, and then I pull it out, and the kids come back, because she had to go get the kids. The kids come back and it's still cooking, and they're like, "Uncle Alex, you're cooking something. Why does it look all melted?" And my answer was because your Nana had told me to put it on the rack without the pan underneath it. And she says, "Well, I'm so sorry." And so now we know we're using the air fry pump to put the pan underneath it. If it's a plastic container, on the bake setting, if you're using the air fry setting, to not put wood sticks or plastic or paper in there, so that it won't cause a disaster.
And by comparison, I just checked my blood sugar, and I had a big old bowl of popcorn while watching IU this afternoon, and that ended at 7. So we're coming up on 4.5 hours. My blood sugar is 122, which is acceptable.
What's the normal range again on that sort of thing?
So after you eat anything under 180, your body's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Did I take my meds tonight? Yeah, I did.
Did you have butter and salt and flavoring and all that on the popcorn, or just regular plain?
I just put butter on it, but butter has no sugar in it that I'm aware of, and the carbs in the popcorn is probably what done it. After 4 hours, it should drop another 20 to 40. I am checking it right now because I don't want to go in there Tuesday and they draw blood and they come back and say, well, we're not going to do your surgery. Your numbers are too out of whack. And they could be out of whack either way. They could be high or they could be low. So 122, I'm pretty happy with that. Just, I can't emphasize my wanting to get through this. And then tonight, Mrs. K, she had to try to interject humor, much like someone else we know that's in the Alice B chair for Hollywood Squares. I said something, she goes, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Why? She said, well, you just asked if that card that's not there is going to churn. I think you're starting to hallucinate. I said, you're not funny, woman.
So are you getting laser surgery or scalpel for the cataract removal?
It was my understanding it's going to be laser surgery. That was
Okay.
the way it was explained to me. But she also explained to me that they're going to put something in my eye that, and she promises me I won't feel it, to take the stuff off, take the lens off of my eye and put the new lens on.
Well, if you look up examples of this online, they make a little slit with a scalpel or a laser, however they're doing it. Take the old lens out and put a new lens in, it slides in. Then it's just a little slit that has to heal up and supposedly that heals fairly quickly.
It might take a month or two before that you'll see a little halo around one side of the lens, or that's what it appears to be.
Yeah.
But that'll go away.
But you were all right to start doing things again after what, 3 days or so?
They say I can't drive for 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get a patch except for a clear lens. I had to wear that at night for like 2 or 3 days, just so I didn't poke myself in the eye.
Right.
Yep.
All right, we're a little over an hour. I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream off. So I want to just give the generic thank you, Tony Wallow. Thank you, Bobby Warren, William Dawson, Robert Michael. Great guy. Second tonight, Greg, or third. You were getting there. David, however you say his last name, didn't stick around. Kind of didn't think that he would. I'll elaborate more on that here in a minute. If I
think
miss
he
anybody,
might have thought we were a group that did things we don't do.
yeah, David Luger. I'll have to work on that one.
With 2 G's, it'd be Lugar, I would think, but you can never tell.
Yeah, you can never tell. Long Dog was there. Thank you, Long Dog. Who just Wintermute joins us. Let me go ahead and end the stream, and we'll see you all tomorrow night at 10:30. But I won't be here long tomorrow night because I'm supposed to get 8 hours of rest before going in the next morning. So good night. Thank you. The Zoom will continue. If you'd like to join us on Zoom, send me an email, kstout2016@gmail.com, and we'll get you on the Zoom. Oops, wrong button. I've so turned into Doug Betts.